Have you ever noticed how, at certain times, life seems to conspire to give you exactly what you need? If this encounter is happening now, it's no coincidence. We are under the influence of what the ancients called the emerald sign, a convergence between the clarity of Thoth and the wisdom of Sophia that acts as a fine-tuning of your internal frequency. What we will explore here is not just a concept, but a method to align your vibration so that reality begins to reflect your intentions naturally. I'm going to show you how to identify the points of sabotage in your own energy field and how to activate the most powerful aspects of your purpose. Pay attention to every detail because alignment requires presence and order. If you feel that this is the moment to stop fighting the current and start flowing with it, you're in the right place. Before we activate this signal, if you could attract just one change to your life today, what would it be? Write your intention in the comments. Putting your desire into words is the first step to making it real. You didn't click on this content by accident, and the absolute proof of that is what you've been feeling in the last few days. The universe never operates by luck or chaos, but rather through precise rhythms and mathematical frequencies that govern everything that exists. At this very moment, a very specific pulse, known to the ancient masters as the emerald signal, has reached its peak emission on Earth. This is an extremely rare cosmic summons that only happens when the web of reality becomes malleable enough to be altered by human will. You may think it's a coincidence that you're reading this now, but the truth is that your own vibration attracted this information to you like a magnet. Until now, you have lived under rigid and limiting rules where everything seems difficult, time-consuming, and requires superhuman effort to happen. This feeling of heaviness and slowness is not the natural state of life, but rather a program that was inserted to keep you asleep. But this emerald signal transmission was specifically designed to break this rigidity and dissolve the invisible barriers that surround you. What you are about to discover here is not just intellectual information that you will forget tomorrow. It is a living activation code that has already begun vibrating within your cells the moment your eyes met these words. For this code to work and unlock your reality, you need to understand that nothing is happening outside of you, as everything is an internal reflection. The signal is now emitting its most intense light, preparing the biological terrain for a transmutation that knows no return to its previous state. It's as if a switch that has been off for years within your nervous system is suddenly activated by a higher voltage. You may feel a slight warmth or a sense of anticipation in your chest because your body recognizes the truth even before your rational mind processes it. This is not your average self-help message, but an astronomical and spiritual alignment that opens doors that have been locked for generations in your lineage. This emerald frequency, mentioned in forbidden texts and guarded for millennia, is the access code to an existence where the search ceases and the encounter becomes the rule. The universe has decided it's time for you to stop looking for answers outside and start remembering the power that already resides within your core. The signal bypasses the barriers of your intellect and resonates directly in the water of your body, altering the molecular structure to receive more light. Many people will go through this moment without realizing anything, and will remain trapped in the cycle of repetition and unnecessary suffering. But you were brought here because your personal frequency resonated with this urgent call for awakening and change. The higher intelligence that orchestrates the movements of the stars and planets is now focused on organizing your personal life. The coincidences that brought you to this text are proof that the old control system is failing and a new order is emerging for you. This is the moment when the web of reality opens, allowing new futures to be planted and harvested with impressive speed. You don't need to exert yourself physically now. You only need to keep your attention focused and your heart open to receive this update. The emerald signal is a wave carrying information that will rewrite how you interact with matter and time. But for it to fully function and truly change your life, you need to understand the origin of this transmission. There is an intelligence behind this signal that is not random and has a very clear purpose for your personal development right now. For the activation to be complete, you need to know exactly who sent this signal and why they specifically chose you at this moment in history. It is not an accident, and it is not luck. It is a formal invitation to assume a position of command that has always been rightfully yours. The entity or consciousness that guards this secret is ready to reveal itself and hand over the keys to the kingdom to you. For millennia, the hidden wisdom about how reality works has been guarded by an intelligence that many call Thoth in ancient traditions. Don't visualize Thoth as a distant god or a mythological figure worshipped in cold stone temples of the past. Consider this intelligence as the primordial architect of geometry that holds your reality upright and prevents chaos from taking over. He is responsible for codifying the immutable laws of balance in nature and physics that govern your daily life. The emerald signal is the master key that this intelligence offers only when humanity, or an individual, reaches a certain threshold of despair or genuine awakening. Thoth reveals through this frequency that the world around you is not as solid as it appears to your 5 limited senses. The chair you sit on and the screen you look at are actually a construct of light and sound vibrating at specific speeds. By understanding this, you realize that matter responds to voice commands and intention just as a computer program responds to code. By tuning into this architect's energy, you cease to be a passive piece on the board, moved by external circumstances. You assume the position of player and begin to move the pieces of destiny in your favor with awareness and precision. The superior intelligence that Thoth represents begins to organize the atoms around your deepest and truest intentions. It's a paradigm shift where you stop reacting to the world and the world begins to react to who you are. However, it is crucial to understand that the cold logic and sacred geometry of Thoth are merely the structure or skeleton of the miracle you seek. Imagine a perfect building with plumbing and wiring, but without electricity running through it to make it habitable and functional. The hermetic laws and mental principles are the building tools, but they alone do not generate the life you desire. You can know all the laws of the universe and still feel empty and unable to manifest your visions. To bring this geometric structure to life and make reality obey its commands, a secret and vital ingredient is missing. There is a force that has been purposefully forgotten, and it is the only one capable of activating the machine of creation in its experience. Without this force, Thoth's structure remains static, and its desires remain only in the realm of ideas, never descending to earth. An ignition is needed, a spark that transforms the architectural project into a house where one can live. This forgotten force is what brings warmth, movement, and flow to the perfect mathematical equations that govern the cosmos and your life. It is the element that fills the empty spaces between atoms and connects your mind to the living fabric of the universe. Thoth provides the map and the compass, but it is this other presence that provides the wind for your sails. You are about to meet the necessary counterpart for magic to cease being theory and become practice. The union between the structure and this mysterious force is what creates the true alchemy capable of transforming your current reality into gold. The architect built the perfect vehicle for your rise and success, but it is standing still, waiting for fuel. Now that you understand the structure and the mind behind the project, you need to discover who will nurture this dream. There is a nurturing feminine presence that holds the power to materialize what the mind has only projected. The masculine and logical structure of Thoth is perfect in its geometry, but it is sterile without the profound nourishment of Sophia. Sophia is the representation of feminine wisdom, the soul of the world, and the cosmic womb where all manifestation occurs. The fatal error that has prevented your desires from being fulfilled until now is trying to force reality with brute force and exhaustion. You have been taught to fight against life, ignoring the fundamental principle of receptivity that Sophia silently tries to teach. She whispers all the time that true power doesn't lie in pursuing goals with anxiety and fear of failure. Real power lies in attracting what you desire through the magnetic resonance of your own being. When the mathematical precision of Thoth meets the loving and nurturing embrace of Sophia, something extraordinary happens in the universe. A unified force field is created, capable of bending time and bringing the future into the present instantly. This is the sacred union between the architectural design and the vital fuel that makes the machine of reality work in your favor. In the embrace of Sophia's frequency, the human heart finally learns to relax in the absolute certainty that divine providence is already in motion. You stop trying to control every detail and allow the intelligence of life to flow through you without obstruction. This surrender is not passivity, but rather an active form of magnetism that pulls ideal circumstances into your path. Sophia teaches that desire should not be a source of suffering or lack, but rather a reminder of what is already yours in potential. When you combine the mental clarity of what you want with the heightened emotion of already having received it, you activate this code. Anxiety is replaced by unwavering confidence that acts as a beacon for the right opportunities and people. It is the perfect marriage between the mind's electric intention and the heart's magnetic field that generates results. But be aware that this fusion between Thoth and Sophia generates a very specific and powerful chemical reaction in your personal energy field. It's not just something poetic or philosophical. It's a real change in the vibrational frequency that your atoms emit. A change in color and vibration occurs in your aura that your physical body needs to learn to sustain in balance. If your nervous system isn't prepared for this voltage, you may end up sabotaging the process before it's complete. This new frequency is intense and requires you to abandon old thought habits based on fear and immediate scarcity. Your body needs to become a clean conductor so that this creative energy can pass through it without burning out its circuits. It's a process of biological and spiritual adaptation that transforms you into a living portal of manifestation. The energy that results from this union has a specific tone that is the signature of success and healing. You need to pay attention to how you feel physically while this integration is happening, because it affects your internal structures. It's the final preparation for the materialization of your dreams to cease being a remote possibility and become a reality. This alchemical reaction produces a density of light that is visible to the universe and begins to work miracles. Now let's understand exactly what this visual and sensory frequency is that acts as a cleansing agent. This powerful alchemical union between mind and heart generates what we call the emerald frequency in your field. In the deepest esoteric tradition, this is not just a pretty color for visualization during relaxing meditations. It is a real and palpable vibrational density that acts as a corrosive acid against any form of scarcity in your life. It operates and anchors itself at the exact midpoint between heaven and earth, which is your heart center. Activating this emerald signal within you means transmuting the heavy, toxic lead of your doubts into the pure gold of absolute certainty. When this vibrant green light fills your perception, it instantly begins to dissolve blocks of stagnant energy. It cleanses your auric field of the residue of fear and trauma that prevents the natural flow of abundance from reaching you. It's like a deep spiritual cleansing that removes the dirt accumulated over years of negative conditioning and limiting beliefs. You begin to feel an inexplicable physical lightness. as if gravity has lessened and an enormous weight has been lifted from your shoulders. Breathing becomes deeper and easier, and chronic tension in your shoulders and stomach simply disappears effortlessly. This color is not merely visual. It carries an intelligence that knows exactly where you are blocking your own happiness. It penetrates the cellular memories of pain and replaces them with a vibration of vitality and renewed hope. But this deep, restorative cleansing is merely preparing the ground for something much greater to come. The emerald sign needs a clean, unobstructed space to install the new reality programming you have chosen. Without this purification, the new energy would not be able to take hold, and you would revert to old patterns of behavior within a few days. It's a guarantee that the change will be sustainable, and that you won't lose what you gain from now on. The Thoth Code. It talks exactly about how to perform this activation and helps you keep your vibration at the highest level every day. The link is right below in the first pinned comment. Now that the field is clear and the correct frequency has been established, a new spiritual technology automatically comes into play. An invisible and complex geometric structure around your body will begin to spin at full force. This structure mathematically determines what enters your life and what must leave it immediately. You become a closed, high-performance energy system that no longer leaks power. This geometry has always been there, but it was stagnant or spinning chaotically due to uncontrolled emotions and fears. With the activation of the emerald frequency, it gains alignment and speed, creating a protective and attractive shield simultaneously. The external world begins to reflect this new internal order, bringing situations of harmony and prosperity. Nothing enters your field without your conscious vibrational permission. You are about to understand how this attraction machine works in practice and how it manipulates the space around you. It's not magic. It's an advanced universal mechanism that is being activated in your system right now. Prepare to understand the engine that drives the events of your life and how you are at the center of it all. The rotation of this geometric form is the secret to maintaining a continuous and increasing flow of blessings. Life is entirely organized in perfect mathematical patterns, and the emerald sign has just ignited your personal electromagnetic torus. Imagine a vortex of infinite energy flowing continuously around you, entering through your head and exiting through your feet in an eternal cycle. This is sacred geometry in living action, creating a measurable magnetic field that expands meters beyond your physical body. It is not strictly necessary for you to visualize every intricate detail of the Merkaba or the flower of life with technical perfection. These sacred designs and forms are already deeply imprinted in your subconscious and the atomic structure of your being since birth. What we are doing here with this activation is providing the correct and precise stimulus for them to achieve total coherence. When this geometric alignment truly happens, you literally become the center of gravity of your own reality. Things and people stop resisting you and begin to orbit around your clear will and intention. The flow of the torus creates a zone of influence where its vibration dictates the rules of what happens in its immediate environment. It's as if you've generated your own gravity that pulls everything compatible with your new frequency closer. The effort of going out to get things is replaced by the physics of attracting things to your center. You realize you no longer need to shout to be heard by the universe because your field speaks for you all the time. This continuous flow of energy recycles your environment, taking what is stagnant and transforming it into renewed life force. It is a self-sustaining engine that ensures you never run out of energy to create and live fully. The exhaustion you felt before came from trying to operate with this engine switched off, using only the limited battery of the physical body. Now, connected to the inexhaustible source through this geometry, you have access to an infinite reservoir of power. But for this engine to keep running perpetually and bring you what you desire without fail, it needs a biological key. There is an ancient and powerful memory that lies dormant within your biology, awaiting the right moment to awaken. This memory is hidden in the helices of your own blood, encoded in parts of your DNA that science calls junk. It's not junk. It's a zipped file of wisdom and capacity that needs to be opened now. If you don't unlock this memory, the engine may lose power and stop turning, returning you to your old inertia. It's necessary to connect energetic geometry with physical biology for the transformation to be complete and irreversible. The secret to keeping the attraction at its maximum is running through your veins right now. You carry within you the legacy of something much greater than you imagine, and it's ready to be activated. The universe makes no mistakes, and if you have this code in your blood, it's because you have the ability to use it. Let's explore what exists within your DNA and how it changes everything you thought about yourself. The key to mastering matter isn't outside in complex rituals, but within your own cellular structure. It's time to awaken the sleeping giant in your genetics. Within each strand of your DNA lies an undeniable stellar heritage, a living memory of civilizations that knew how to manipulate light and matter. These ancient civilizations understood the engineering of reality long before human consciousness fell into the heavy density of physical matter. The emerald signal acts as a high-precision biological trigger to activate these filaments that modern science ignores. This is not a poetic metaphor. It is a real and measurable recalibration of your biological hardware for a new function. This activation allows your central nervous system to support and process much higher voltages of cosmic energy and intuition. Without this biological upgrade, your body would not be able to sustain the frequency of abundance and would eventually collapse or become ill. As these genetic codes light up from the inside out, the persistent feeling of being separate from what you desire disappears. You begin to perceive with crystal clarity that the distance between you and your dream was never physical, but vibrational. Your body is literally transforming into a crystalline receiver, capable of picking up signals that were previously invisible to your conscious mind. Just as a radio needs to be tuned to the correct station to play the music, your DNA is being tuned to play the music of creation. The separation between the spiritual world and the material world dissolves within your own flesh and blood. You become the living bridge between heaven and earth, anchoring divine power in mundane reality. This internal change alters how your genes express themselves, promoting health, vitality, and a rejuvenation that comes from the soul. The limitations you believe to be genetic or hereditary begin to be rewritten by this new informational light. You cease to be a hostage to your family history and become the author of your new biology. It is the awakening of sovereignty over your own body and the energy field it constantly emanates. And now that you are an activated and cleansed receiver, the universe will begin sending immediate visual confirmations to validate the process. The connection has been established, and the cosmos needs to show your rational mind that the request has been accepted and processed. You won't need blind faith because the signs will be repetitive physical signals that no skeptic can ignore. There is a specific mathematical sign that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the rift in the matrix has been opened for you to pass through. Prepare to see the world speak to you in ways you never imagined possible outside of movies. Reality will begin to blink at you, confirming that you are on the right path and at the right time. These signs are markers indicating that the old reality is dissolving and the new one is overlaying it. There is a numerical code that is the signature of this transition, and it will begin to haunt you everywhere. When you see this sign, you will know that the great reversal of magnetism has begun and that nothing can stop what comes next. It is the official notification from the universal system that you have been promoted from spectator to conscious creator. We will now reveal what this sign is and what it truly means for your immediate destiny. Here is the great turning point that all this knowledge promised to deliver to you from the beginning of this journey. When the emerald signal is fully active and your DNA responds with light, reality begins to fail in your favor, creating rifts in the matrix. The most powerful and common visual signature of this positive glitch is the constant appearance of the 1111 portal in your daily life. Seeing these numbers repeatedly on clocks, license plates, or receipts is neither a coincidence nor confirmation bias from your mind. This is a direct notification from the system that you have successfully aligned linear human time, known as Chronos, with the divine opportune moment called Kairos. This temporal alignment is extremely rare and indicates that you are riding the crest of the wave of creation where everything is possible now. And when this happens, the great inversion occurs, completely changing the dynamics of the game of life for you. Magnetism reverses polarity and activates the phenomenon we call the desire that hunts the observer. You immediately stop chasing things as if they were running away from you all the time. Your dream job, true love, abundant money, and perfect health begin to hunt you down wherever you are. The universe has no other physical choice but to deliver what exactly corresponds to your new and powerful vibrational frequency. It is an immutable law of attraction that compels reality to mold itself to fit your new energy pattern. You have become such a powerful and coherent magnet that external reality is forced to obey and reorganize itself around you. The right people meet you on the street, opportunities knock on your door, and money flows from unexpected sources. Struggle and sacrifice cease to be necessary because you have entered the natural flow of abundance that has always existed. It's like going downstream with the current instead of trying to swim against it with futile effort. Each visualization of this 1111 code reinforces the idea that your journey is being guided by a higher intelligence and that you are safe. The waiting time is over, and instant manifestation begins to become your new daily normal. You realize that the universe is a friendly place and that it conspires in your favor every second of the day. Anxiety about the future disappears because you know that the future is coming to you with gifts. But now that you have this immense power to attract everything you think and feel, you need to take full responsibility. You need to know how to navigate this new life of ease without losing control of your ego or your mind. Power without wisdom can be dangerous and destabilize the harmony you have just achieved through so much alignment. Maintaining this frequency requires vigilance and a constant attitude of gratitude so as not to close the portal. The reversal of magnetism is the final gift from Thoth and Sophia to those who had the courage to awaken and accept the call. Now, your life is an open field of infinite possibilities, where you are the sovereign master of your destiny. Enjoy this harvest phase because you planted the seeds of intention and watered them with the frequency of truth. The world is yours to create and enjoy from now on, with the certainty that you will never be alone again. Now that the reversal of magnetism has occurred and desire has begun to pursue you, we urgently need to discuss the exact mechanism that makes the delivery possible. The universe operates like a high-precision technological mirror that reflects your energetic signature without judgment or miscalculation. The fatal mistake most people make is trying to change the reflection in the mirror by manipulating the glass, attempting to alter external circumstances with their hands. This is mathematically impossible and humanly exhausting because you are fighting against a reflection that only obeys a primal order. The emerald sign acts by clearing the distortions of this mirror, making the projected image clear and faithful. The mirror stops reflecting what you say you want because the act of wanting implies vibrationally that you don't have it, and this generates scarcity. It begins to reflect who you are in your deepest and most honest vibrational essence in that present moment. If your internal frequency is one of absolute certainty and anticipated gratitude, the cosmic mirror has no other physical option but to materialize corresponding events. The universe's response becomes immediate because there is no longer interference or noise in the communication between the sender and the reflector. You stop sending mixed signals of doubt and desire and begin sending a coherent laser beam of command. The old saying, "Seeing is believing," dies here and gives way to the new paradigm of being in order to see reality transform. You need to embody the identity of the person who already possesses what they desire, even before the physical object appears before you. The mirror cannot reflect a smile if you don't smile first, and the universe cannot reflect wealth if you vibrate poverty. The physics of this interaction is relentless, and when you understand this, the game of life changes from difficult to creative mode. It's not about pretending, but about occupying a state of being where doubt cannot survive due to lack of oxygen. The clarity that the emerald signal brings allows you to see your own projections and correct your course in real time before they become problems. You realize that every person and every situation that arises in your day is just feedback from the system showing your vibration. This instantly eliminates victimhood because you understand that you are the source of everything you see in the mirror. Taking on this responsibility is the most liberating act that exists because it returns the remote control of your life to your hands. The world ceases to be a hostile place and becomes a laboratory where you test and refine your frequencies. But to navigate within this dynamic reflection and choose the best possible reality from infinite options, you need speed. Reality is responding so quickly now that if you blink, you might miss the golden opportunity the mirror has just materialized. The density of the physical world seems solid, but it is fluid and malleable for those who maintain a high and constant frequency. You need a vehicle that can withstand this speed of manifestation without burning out your mental or emotional circuits. Many people can clear the mirror for a moment, but they can't sustain the vision when the pressure of daily life increases. That's why the next step is to activate an internal technology that protects your vibration and accelerates your movement. You won't walk towards your dreams, you'll leap towards them using superior physics. The mirror is clear and the path is open, but you can't walk there. You need an energetic structure that encompasses your body and mind, allowing you to break through the walls of limitation. This vehicle is already installed in your system, but it needs to be switched on correctly to function fully. Without it, you remain trapped in the slowness of matter while your mind longs to fly at the speed of light. Let's now discover how to activate this dimensional transport machine. You are not bound to a single linear timeline as you were taught in school or in conventional history books. Your light body, known in ancient traditions as Merkaba, is the biological technology that allows you to move between different realities. With the emerald signal serving as high-octane fuel, the rotation of this energy field around you accelerates dramatically. You cease to be a victim of current circumstances and access a parallel version of your life where your problems are already solved. This is not fertile imagination or fantasy. It is high-frequency physics applied to human consciousness. By activating this vehicle, you harmonize the electrical and magnetic polarities of your being, creating a state of zero equilibrium or null point. It is in this vacuum of silence and power that the leap happens, allowing you to change tracks on the train of life. You don't go to the distant future waiting days or years for things to gradually improve. You bring the future into the present by collapsing the wave function and making probability a tangible certainty. The feeling is that time has shrunk, and what would take 10 years to build happens in 10 days. This Merkaba technology creates a bubble of reality around you that isolates you from the entropy and chaos of the collective world. While everyone else is running in circles, you move in a straight line toward your goal without friction or resistance. It's like being on a bullet train while the rest of the world is cycling on the dirt road next to you. Your perception of time changes, and you begin to experience frequent moments of déjà vu and impossible synchronicities. The universe begins to rearrange the scenery to match the speed and direction of your new vehicle. However, having the vehicle parked in the garage isn't enough if you don't know the exact destination you want to go to. The speed of this quantum leap is so high that any fearful thought can instantly lead you to the wrong place. Laser precision is needed to pilot this ship of consciousness through the infinite possibilities that open up. The logical and rational mind you've used until now is too slow to process these navigation coordinates. It was made to analyze the past, not to calculate quantum leaps in real time. This is where the analytical mind fails and panics, trying to control processes that are far beyond its capacity to understand. Trying to pilot the Merkaba with intellect is like trying to pilot a space rocket using a bicycle instruction manual. You need a new navigation operating system that is instantaneous and infallible. A way of knowing that doesn't depend on external data or spreadsheets of pros and cons. This guidance system is already built into the package of your expanded consciousness, but it was deactivated by traditional education. You are about to reactivate this internal compass that always points to the true north of your purpose. Without it, the vehicle's power would be dangerous and could lead you to manifest your fears as quickly as your dreams. Control needs to shift from the thinking mind to something deeper and more immediate. Now that you have the engine running and the mirror clean, we need to install the final navigation software. It will allow you to make split-second decisions with complete certainty of accuracy. Forget doubt and hesitation, because where you're about to go, they don't exist. Forget the books, the complex theories, and the gurus who promise ready-made answers for a moment, and focus here. The transmission of Thoth brings with it noesis, which is direct and instantaneous knowledge without the mediation of logic. You know that paralyzing feeling of confusion when making an important decision that keeps you awake at night. It disappears completely under the influence of this frequency, because your connection to the data source is direct. You receive downloads of absolute clarity that arrive whole in your mind like a zipped file that opens by itself. The answer to your problems arises even before the question is fully formulated in your rational mind. It's not a deductive mental process where you think if A then B and maybe C. It's a sudden and powerful recollection of something you already knew, but had temporarily forgotten. You come to know the next step in your life with the same unwavering certainty with which you know your own name. Doubt simply cannot find space to take root in a mind operating in noesis. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable mountains lose their density and become simple puzzles to solve. This happens because you begin to see the energetic mechanics behind each situation, not just the superficial drama. You see people's intentions, hidden opportunities, and open paths that no one else is seeing. It's like having X-ray vision that penetrates the appearance of things and reveals the true structure of events. This strategic advantage puts you miles ahead of any competition or difficulty. Decision-making becomes fluid and natural, ceasing to be an ordeal of anxiety and fear of making mistakes. You know you can't go wrong because you're following a flow of intelligence that is greater than your ego. Gnosis is the voice of your higher self, speaking loud and clear, without the noise of emotional interference. Every choice you make under this influence takes you exactly where you need to be at the right time. Life ceases to be a guessing game and becomes a game of surgical precision. But be careful, because keeping this channel of wisdom open and functioning 24 hours a day requires fine-tuning. There is an ancient conflict within you that could close this door if not resolved right now. It is an internal civil war that has been draining your energy and preventing noesis from establishing itself permanently. You need to pacify two gigantic forces that inhabit your being and have been fighting for control. If these two sides don't reach an agreement, clarity will come and go, leaving you frustrated and confused again. The stability of this power depends entirely on signing a peace treaty within yourself. Having access to universal knowledge is useless if you are divided and in conflict with yourself. The next step is crucial to ensuring your sovereignty is eternal and not just a fleeting moment. Let's now perform the alchemical marriage that will fuse these two powers into a single, unstoppable force. Prepare to integrate opposites and assume the throne of your own consciousness. The true power of this sign only becomes permanently established when a final and irrevocable union occurs within you. The strategic and cold mind of Thoth and the compassionate and vibrant heart of Sophia need to stop fighting for control of your life. Your mind has a terrible fear of the future and tries to control everything with rigid plans that constantly fail. Your heart fears the pain of disappointment and often closes itself off to protect you from being hurt again. The emerald sign forces these two vital centers to come into absolute coherence and work as a team. The mind ceases to be the tyrannical master full of anxiety and becomes the faithful and efficient servant of the heart. It begins to execute with surgical precision and logic what the soul deeply desires to feel and experience. When this sacred union takes place within your heart, you reach a state of spiritual sovereignty. You cease to be a being divided between what you think and what you feel, and become a single block of intention. The laws of ordinary reality that bind other people begin to bow before your unified presence. External chaos may be happening in the world with crises and problems on all sides, but around you an oasis is created. Order and harmony are established in your life because there is no longer any internal war to be reflected outwardly. Your vibrational signature becomes so unique and powerful that nothing of low frequency can penetrate your field. You become an energetic authority, and the universe recognizes this status, opening paths where there were once walls. It is the end of self-sabotage because all parts of you are going in the same direction. This state of unity generates a peace that is not passive, but rather imbued with a formidable power of action. You think with your heart and feel with your mind, creating superior emotional intelligence. The people around you sense this change and begin to respond to you with more respect and admiration. Your words gain weight, and your intentions gain speed of instantaneous materialization. You finally occupy the throne of your existence, governing your personal kingdom with wisdom and love. Now that all this power is concentrated in your hands, you need to learn the most counterintuitive rule of all. There's a subtle trap that catches initiates just when they feel most powerful and invincible. If you fall into this trap, you can ruin all the alignment work you've done so far. It's a paradox that the logical mind hates, but it's the master key to effortless manifestation. To use this power without burning it, you need to act in a way that goes against everything society has taught you. The natural instinct is to use force to make things happen, now that you feel strong. But the ultimate secret to keeping the flow open isn't force, it's something much more subtle. Let's unravel the art of doing without doing and conquering without fighting. Modern society has trained you from birth to fight, struggle, and strive to exhaustion to achieve any crumb. The emerald signal demands and teaches the exact opposite of this destructive behavior, the absolute fluidity of water. Observe nature and see that a flower doesn't force or sweat to open its petals. It allows the process. By integrating this higher frequency, you enter a state of flow where everything happens in perfect timing. Excessive effort generates resistance and friction, while complete trust generates magnetism and attraction. Your actions cease to be desperate and motivated by the fear of lack, becoming instead actions inspired by the certainty of achievement. You no longer sit on the couch waiting, but act when you feel the electric impulse of intuition guiding you. The right people call you out of the blue. Money appears from unexpected sources, and the solution to the problem falls into your lap. You are no longer swimming against the raging current of life trying to prove your worth. You have become the river itself, flowing powerfully and directly towards the ocean of fulfillment. In this state, you realize that anxiety was the handbrake that was holding your car back. By releasing the need for rigid control, you allow the infinite intelligence of the universe to work through you. Happy coincidences become daily routine, and luck always seems to be on your side. This is not chance. It is the physical response of reality to a consciousness that has stopped creating resistance. Life becomes a light and pleasurable dance instead of a bloody struggle for survival. Ancient wisdom ceases to be merely a beautiful theory in dusty books and becomes your new living biology. Your cells relax, your immune system strengthens, and your vital energy increases dramatically. You exert less physical and mental effort, but obtain exponentially greater and better results. It is the maximum efficiency of nature operating in your business, your relationships, and your health. Non-resistance is the key that opens the doors that brute force tried to break down without success. You learn to navigate the waves of existence by harnessing the momentum instead of trying to stop the sea with your hands. When a challenge appears, you don't harden. You flow around it and dissolve it with your presence. This mastery places you in a category of human beings who live life on their own terms. But now it's time to anchor all of this technically and definitively in matter. There is a final instruction left by the masters that needs to be activated to seal this transformation. Understanding the concept is not enough. One must practice the true alchemy that changes the structure of reality. Let's take this philosophy and transform it into a technical manual for immediate operation. What is above must now come down. As above, so below. This famous phrase from the Emerald Tablet is not mystical poetry. It's a technical manual for operating reality, describing the mechanics of dimensional mirrors. By changing your internal micro-reality, composed of your dominant thoughts and emotions, the external macro-reality is forced to reconfigure itself. The physical world is merely a 3D imprint of the file you created in your mind and heart. You are the alchemist of your own life, and always have been, even when you didn't know it. The heavy weight of your exhausting routine and chronic problems is being transformed into gold right now. Every conscious breath you take under this instruction and frequency is anchoring a new grid of reality on the planet. You cease to be an effect of the world and become the primary cause of what happens in your personal universe. Alchemy isn't about transforming metals in a laboratory. It's about transforming the vibration of your consciousness. When you change the frequency of your emission, the radio station of your life instantly changes the music. You already have the access code, the vehicle is already activated, and you already have a clear direction to go. You no longer need external tools, courses, or anyone's approval to be who you were meant to be. The Emerald Tablet lives within your DNA, and the instructions are being read by your cells now. The separation between the divine and the human is over, and you are the meeting point of these two forces. Your life is the laboratory where miracles happen naturally every day. This understanding removes the burden of having to fix the outside world with your own hands. You understand that simply adjusting the internal projector completely changes the film on the screen. If the image is bad, yelling at the screen won't help. You need to clean the lens and change the film. This is the true freedom that no one can take away from you, because it depends solely on your inner state. You become untouchable by collective crises and dramas. There remains only the final step, the one that seals the commitment and prevents you from falling back asleep in illusion. There is a threshold that, once crossed, closes the door to the past forever and locks the exit. It is the moment of irrevocable decision where you declare to the universe that you accept your inheritance. It is not a request. It is a command that reverberates in all dimensions. We are reaching the climax of this transmission, where theory dissolves into pure experience. Prepare for the point of no return, where the old version of you is definitively left behind. The chrysalis is breaking open and the butterfly cannot revert to being a caterpillar. Flight is inevitable. We have reached the critical moment and decided the emerald signal is reaching its maximum and absolute frequency right now in this paragraph you are reading. Feeling this now may cause slight physical discomfort, a shiver, or a sudden warmth in your chest. This happens because your nervous system is burning away the last vestiges of old scarcity and fear programming. It is the fever of healing that expels disease from the limitations of your energetic body forever. There is no going back after expanding your consciousness to this level of understanding and perception. Once you have seen the truth about who you are and how the universe works, you cannot unsee it. The illusion that you are small, powerless, and a victim of chance has been shattered into 1,000 irreparable pieces. The innocence of ignorance has been lost and replaced by the responsibility of conscious creative power. You know too much now to continue pretending you have no control over your destiny. The universe is holding its breath at this moment, awaiting your final inner consent. It awaits your silent yes to lower the curtain on your old life and begin the new act of your existence. The preparation and rehearsal phase is over, and there is nothing more to be learned in theory. Practical execution begins now and demands that you walk with the posture of one who has already won. Doubt no longer has a place in your mind, for it has been incinerated by the light of direct knowledge. You stand on the edge of the abyss where the old self dies so that the new self can be born free. It is a leap of faith, not into the unknown, but into the certainty of your own divinity and capacity. Everything you have experienced until now has been merely training for this turning point. The pain and challenges have served to forge the strength you now possess to sustain this new light. Nothing was wasted. Everything was fuel for your ascension. The curtain is rising and the spotlights are focused on you, awaiting your masterful performance. The old script has been torn up, and you hold the pen in your hand to write whatever you wish from now on. Don't look back, for there is nothing there for you but shadows of who you used to be. The future is shining before you, with an intensity your physical eyes can barely bear. This is the turning point where biology obeys consciousness and reality bends. Take a deep breath and accept the complete transformation that is occurring at the cellular level. You are ready to assume your command post. Let us seal this now with the mark of eternity. The activation process that will change the trajectory of your life forever is complete. The emerald sign is no longer something external that you seek outside or expect to receive from heaven. It is something you have become entirely by integrating the frequency into every atom of your body. Thoth and Sophia are no longer distant entities or mythological archetypes outside of you. They are the living masculine and feminine forces that now run mixed in your veins and synapses. The relentless search is over because the seeker and the sought have finally merged into a single presence. You no longer need to search for God or truth, for they are looking through your eyes now. By accepting this final transmission, you have sealed your destiny in inevitable success and fulfillment. The reality before you is now a virgin blank canvas, cleansed of painful pasts. You hold the brush of intention with a steady hand and mastery, ready to paint the masterpiece of your life. Don't wait for a miracle tomorrow or next week as if salvation came from the calendar. The miracle is your new perception today. The radical change in how you interpret and create the world. The sign will not repeat itself in this way, because no external warning is needed anymore. It is now the rhythmic pulse of your own heart beating in time with the universe. You are the transmission tower that emits the frequency of healing and prosperity wherever you go. Go and live as the incarnate divinity you have just remembered with absolute certainty that you are. Don't ask permission to shine, and don't dim your light to fit into anyone's box. The world needs your awakened and powerful version to evolve along with you. Every step you take from now on will be on sacred ground because you carry the sacred within you. Separation is the only lie, and unity is the only truth that remains. Enjoy every second of this new journey with the joy of someone who knows the ending of the movie. You won the game of illusion and awoke within the lucid dream of creation. Everything is available. Everything is possible. And everything is already yours by right of consciousness. Now is the only time that exists, and in it, you are eternal and limitless. The seal has been broken, and the light has been released to flood your existence. Move forward with your head held high and your heart ablaze. You are the sign, you are the message, and you are the miracle. The transmission ends here, but your true life begins now. The universe celebrates your return home. Welcome to your new reality. If you felt the calling from this video and want to see our mission continue, the most beautiful way to support us is through an exchange of energy. We've prepared the ebook, The Thoth Code, to give you the heart of our knowledge about mental alchemy and vitality. By acquiring this material, you're not just buying a book, you're making a real contribution to ensuring this channel doesn't stop. It's our deepest knowledge in your hands in exchange for the breath we need to continue awakening consciousness. The link is in the first pinned comment. Immense gratitude for your help.